Hi, it's Grace Vanderwall. I was just on the Zach Sang show, and we talked about everything. So make sure to watch it. It's very entertaining. Yeah, cool.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
Hello, beautiful humans.
Hello.
Dan's here.
Hello.
And Grace
Are we on right?
ASMR Vanderwall is here. Yeah, we're on.
Oh, hey. Hi.
You don't even know. You know what I mean?
don't even know like when the interview conversation is starting.
But it's maybe that's what makes it that special, right?
Yeah, authentic.
Because the energy doesn't really stop. It doesn't really shift. It's just
It's consistent.
yeah, the way we are off the air.
love,
You're on it.
Love.
I'm so honored to have you here, Miss Vanderwall.
Thank you.
I've been trying to get you on our show for quite some time.
No,
because
you have not.
I promise you.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I love you.
You definitely have.
I don't believe you at all.
You loved us and Ariana before.
Yes.
I love you. I love your you.
Oh my God, stop. Because I'm like low-key starstruck, and if you keep saying this, I'm going to cry.
No, when you got up on stage and you sang that original at AGT, season 11 winner, golden buzzer human right here. I mean, that original shook me.
Thank you.
The depth of the lyrics, but also how personal they really were, and the fact that you were able to win over everybody in the room with an original record. That's powerful stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it in that moment that you really set the tone for the rest of your career, that you're a songwriter? You're not just this cover artist who takes out her uke and, plays around with a record and makes it a little bit folky?
I think that's an interesting point, because I think a lot of people on those shows, the reason why it's hard to take off afterwards is because of many reasons, but also because everyone does covers, and it's hard to establish yourself as yourself afterwards. So I guess so. I mean, I was just incredibly lucky that the producers were, because the producers are a heavy input on what you sing. And if they didn't want me to sing that, I couldn't have done that. So I'm just grateful that they let me, and because without their input, I would have sang X's and O's or like Riptide or something.
And I don't think we'd be talking right now.
We probably wouldn't be talking. Isn't that crazy?
It gives me
that
goosebumps.
Like blows my. I'm like in such like deep thoughts mood right now, because once again, like I just woke up from like a super long nap, and like that's just crazy to me to think about. Like, just. I never really think about like fate or any of that. I kind of think that's stupid. I think that everything's pretty much random and just around belief in your own determination. But then I think about those weird things that like line up so weird. And I'm like, maybe that was like supposed to be.
You kind of got to think that way in a sense, because there's so many other people who hit that stage that sing a ton of covers, and then they get judged solely based on the cover, and then they're kind of stuck in a hole and they have to climb their way out.
Yeah.
At that moment when you stood in front of the producers and sang that original, how many other original songs had you had ready to go?
Not many. I think that I had maybe one other really bad original. I was writing my songs like a week before the performances during that whole process.
Whoa.
Because I had just started writing songs. I sang I Don't Know My Name way back when, even before the TV audition. And I remember there was like this whole process for months of what I was going to sing. And that was I Don't Know My Name was such a last minute decision that like I had nothing else prepared.
That was it.
And now that I think about it, that's so stupid. I wasn't stressed out, but like I should have been stressed out, because like I'm starting with an original. I can't. It'd be weird to switch to covers.
That's just, and you didn't know how many weeks you had technically, because nobody told you weren't guaranteed a lifespan.
Yeah.
So when you're writing on America's Got Talent, are you writing about everything you're experiencing in that moment or throughout that week?
No, honestly, I was just trying to get songs down, like Light the Sky, Clay. I think that's all. Is that all I sang?
Stray and Clay.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just Light the Sky and not Stray. And
Stray's a new one.
Stray's a new one, yeah. And Clay, like I was just trying to get stuff down, and if I finished a song and I liked it, I was like, I'm gonna sing this for the producers and get what's it called? Like confirmation that I can do it.
But in that moment, were you even confident in your own ability to say if this song is finished or good enough?
Yes, I've always been like, I don't know, I've always been so stubborn in what I know and what I like. Not really in like a spoiled way or anything, but like, I don't know, all my life I've known I don't know, it was just this weird intuition that like, I knew I was going to sing this. Like, also at the end, when I sang Clay, they wanted me to sing I Don't Know My Name Again. And throughout that whole process, I was probably the most difficult contestant. Like, because they're very, they let you have freedom if you put your foot down to have freedom. You know what I mean?
And when you have the talent that allows you to put your foot down.
Yeah, they were very, very lenient for me, like in everything, in what I wore and what I sang. And so at the end, I was just like, no, I'm going to do this. And they're like, you might get voted off. We've been doing this a long time. It'll be such a moment if you sing I Don't Know My Name at the very end at the finals. And I don't know, I just like had this intuition of like, no, this is the song, man.
And look where you're at now.
Yeah.
Paid off pretty well.
Paid off, yeah.
Does that intuition, does your gut, does it grow stronger over the since then? Like over the years between right now and AGT? Or does it stay the same?
I mean, I feel it's not like this weird monster. I feel like it's like everyone, you know? Everyone, I'm sure you have that too. And it's just about getting in touch with that part of yourself and making sure to stay connected with that part of yourself throughout your entire career. And I think that's really important, especially for like child stars. People always ask me like, oh, well, what do you do as a child star to like stay okay? And I think the main thing is just to stay in touch with that intuition, because if you lose that, then other people will step in for that. And then they'll be those decisions for you.
You're becoming something you're not.
Exactly. And then you'll be an adult, and then you'll be like, wait a second, who am I? What am I doing?
And I've seen that.
We all have.
It's scary.
It's very scary, yeah.
But it does take confidence in your ability, kind of out the gate. But
Yeah.
you knew what you were here to do. Do you feel like you've known from a very early age that you were meant to make music and write songs?
Like, I don't want to make it sound like some like spiritual, like I was born to make music, you know?
I was born in the music.
Yeah, exactly. Because I still am not that way. But you know, like I was just like any other little girl who liked to sing like High School Musical and like make up songs, you know?
I'm soaring, we're flying.
Yeah.
There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. And if we're trying, we're breaking free. Yeah, we're breaking free.
Oh.
That was nice.
Love.
So,
That was great.
who introduced you?
What just happened?
It was nice. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna fight it.
I'm like still in like nap mode, and this is so weird. Like thinking back to that weird like breakout song, I'm like, what just happened?
Who introduced you to a ukulele?
Once again, super weird like lineup of fate. My mom got a job with like this au pair. Can I say this story? Okay. My mom got this job with like this au pair company, an international au pair company. And basically, I don't fully understand it because it was my mom's job and I was really young. But this is what I've grasped. Basically, if an international au pair's family didn't work out, like if they were fighting or if they just weren't a match, they would have nowhere to go because they had no family in the States. They had nowhere, so they would stay at our house, actually. It's just like young women, all very nice, just from like all over the world. And there was this one woman named Gabriella, I think, and she was from Brazil, if I remember right, and she played the ukulele. And once again, like such a weird just lineup. And yeah, I always looked up to the women because they were older than me. They were in their 20s. I thought they were so cool.
They're cultured.
Exactly. So I looked up to her and I was just like, I loved that she played it, and I would always steal it from her and play it. And then I just got my own, and here we are.
Do you go to your mom and say, can you buy me a uke? Or are you so good on this au pair's uke that your mom needs to get you one?
No. I asked for one for my birthday, actually, but at the time I've never been able to hold hobbies. And so especially expensive hobbies, my parents would never get me because I would just throw them away after like a week. So I never got one. But I think my grandma gave me like $50 for my birthday, and then I used that money to get a ukulele.
Wow. Why do you feel like it's the perfect instrument for you?
I think I've figured it out, and it's because I'm very impatient with everything. Like, I think that's also why I like singing, because it always came so naturally to me. I hated piano because I had to practice and get good at it, and I had to work, and I hate that. I hate working and practicing. And ukulele is such an easy instrument. I mean, obviously you can advance and like get amazing, but you can buy one and learn a song in the same day.
And that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You feel accomplished.
Exactly. It gives you that validation immediately. And I think that's why, especially at that young age, I really liked it, because I really liked that immediate validation of learning a song. And yeah.
Do you feel like you're using the ukulele differently today than you were, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think I use it more nowadays just to connect with what I'm feeling and like understand how I'm feeling about any situation I'm feeling, and like understand how I'm feeling about any situation in my life or just my feelings. And then I think back then I was just excited to learn covers and all that fun stuff.
Do you use the uke while you're writing records? When you're writing songs?
Normally, yeah.
What do you use it for? A melody?
I mean, every time is different. Usually I like to find chords, and then I just like, and then just start like singing words to it, and then like figure out the words. And then like halfway in, I'm like, oh, this is what it's about. And then it makes it easy for the rest.
So it's once you start putting together words that you figure out the story you're telling?
Yeah, the song, it's super weird writing songs. That's something that's never changed. Songs always, I never know what a song is about until I've almost finished it. And I'm just like, oh, like it's almost like my subconscious like coming out. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Or like, that's how I feel about that. I didn't know I felt that way.
So you like channel it. Like in the moment you don't understand your feelings. So you don't even understand it enough to like write it down in a notes section and then revisit it. But it takes you experiencing stuff and then you sitting down and like accessing your subconscious.
Yeah, I'm like to the other side, like just saying random words. Yeah. But basically like that sounds insane, but yeah.
Where do you write? Like, where's the right place to set up creative shop?
Anywhere. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I like to be alone because it's kind of embarrassing.
To just start mumbling different words while strumming your little guitar.
Exactly. I kind of sound crazy. But you know, I've never been like, there needs to be a vanilla scented candle and it needs to be 78 degrees to write a song. You know, it can be anywhere.
But do you do anything to tap into your subconscious? Like, when do you know that it's time to write a song? Does something happen, or do you go, I got to just sit down and do it now, like homework?
I mean, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, like sometimes, because I'm really personally really bad at understanding my emotions for things. I just feel anxiety.
Yeah.
Which is just a million different emotions, which is probably also puberty, and I just have a million emotions. But it's also just me and my understanding of myself. And so whenever I feel like that, like, oh my God, you know, then I like to.
You know it's time.
Then it's time. Yeah.
It's not until I'm freaking out and almost shaking.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Stray, a beautiful record. One of your most recent, next to Hideaway, which we'll dive into. But one of the lyrics in Stray caught my ear. I want to write a song. I want to feel my words. What is this song actually about?
This song is actually about throwing away many songs during the Imagine Dragons tour. When I was on tour, I wrote many songs and I was hoping to release an EP once I got off the tour. But like when I wrote that, I looked back on all the songs and like they all kind of sucked. Like I don't know, none of them touched me. None of them I could tell that they were the type of songs that after a month of singing them, they would mean nothing to me. And I just didn't want to do that. I've done that with other songs, and I just don't enjoy it. It loses that passion for me. And that was really a big, big influence in Stray, about throwing away those songs and like just trying, because what we were actually just talking about, just like perfect, the questions lining up. Line up again. I'll drop it now. Yeah, like that process used to be like really perfect for me, and I feel like I did so many writing sessions for Just the Beginning for the first time, and I feel like that kind of messed up my process almost.
Yeah, because you're inviting people that you don't know very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Into something that was just you, pen, paper, and your uke.
Yeah, it kind of became almost too formulated to the point where like I didn't really know how to write the way I used to, which is a big influence in Stray.
Just because you felt and you realized that you wouldn't be able to sing these songs after a month of them existing, does that make them not hit records?
Yes. I mean, I never have hit records, but I don't really care because, like, I'd rather be happy with what I'm performing and singing than, like, super unhappy and, like, hate my music than, like, have my songs on the radio.
Even if it could be a number one?
Even if it could be a number one, because... You know, it probably won't be anyways.
Well, what were you writing about that wasn't connecting with you?
Just random stuff. I don't even remember. I think that I kind of fell into, like, the common categories of, like, love and, like, you know, and teenage years. And, like, that's fine. And I've actually written a lot of songs recently about that. But I was just doing it, I don't know, in like a way that wasn't natural and organic to me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you're doing it, one, in writers' camps, but when you're doing it the second time, you're doing it on your own time and at your own pace, and when you're feeling it and living it.
Yeah.
But you know they put you in those songwriting camps or whatever to try to get a hit out of that. Any pressure or any nerves you feel when you have to tell the record label, these records are not for me? Thank you for, you know, putting us in a house somewhere and giving all these writers free food, but like, it's not right.
No, I've never been able to relate to artists who have, who struggle with their label and, you know, like going against it, because, and I'm just really, really privileged and lucky for that, because I've never really had to face that. It's very easy for me. I have dozens and dozens of songs from writing sessions or when I wrote alone and then went into producing sessions that just weren't right, and they're just in the abyss, you know?
On a hard drive somewhere?
Some Dropbox out there. I don't know.
Somebody go look for it.
Yeah.
If you have too much time. Stray, really beautiful record top to bottom. And you feel your vocals, like... your vocals just as unique as your songwriting ability, but I just don't think there's anybody who sounds like you vocally.
Thank you.
Your phrasing, even the uke, it's just so perfect. Do you remember the first time you decided to sing?
No, I was probably a toddler, like just singing along to like Hannah Montana or something.
How about the first time somebody put you on stage or made you sing in front of somebody else that you didn't know?
Oh, yes. I do remember that. I do. Terrible experience.
Tell us.
Terrible. I think probably the first time, other than like my family or something, singing in front of a stranger was for this thing called NISMA. NISMA was something that you did in middle school and high school, where you would play your instrument or sing or whatever, and it would actually mean a lot for like groups and like college and stuff, and they would basically rate you.
Was this in New York or Kansas?
This was in New York.
Got it.
And I sang. I got a bad score. He told me that my voice was uncontrolled, scratchy, and sounded unhealthy. I remember he gave me such a bad score that actually the next day my music teacher pulled me aside and had a talk with me. He was wondering if I was upset. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
And only a few short years later, you win America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't get discouraged in that moment, though.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed like a sad guy. He was like upset with his life, and I was like in 4th grade. So I mean, it's always been my passion. So I was just like, whatever, you know.
Keep on swimming.
Yeah.
Are you back in school now?
Yeah.
You like it?
I love school so much.
What's the best part about it?
People. Kids.
It's connecting with humans.
Kids. Yeah, being with kids. I'm always around adults to the point where I'm like, oh wait, I'm 15, you know?
I'm not 47.
I'm not 47, Grace. Snap out of it. You know, so it's nice to be in high school because sometimes, like, before when I was completely out of school, I, like, it was too much.
Yeah.
To the point where I was, like, I would go to, like, sleepovers or something and, like, wasn't able to communicate with teenagers. Like, I felt like an adult at a teenager sleepover. I'm like, what am I doing here?
And it's not fair to you.
Yeah, so that was when I was like, I should go back to high school.
Time is so on your side. And
Yeah.
do you see a creative and inspirational change when it comes to making music from when you were out of school to when you decide to go back to school? Like, does that influence the way you create?
Absolutely. Because I mean, I get so many experiences in high school. And also I don't regret being out of high school for a second or middle school at the time, because it actually made me appreciate school so much. You don't learn to appreciate school
Until you're gone.
Exactly.
And the social side of school, it's not even the homework. It's like getting to know people and being around people who are your same age. You share interests.
Exactly.
When I used to do my radio show, because I've been doing it a long time, I used to the only reason I went to high school every day, I mean, one, I was legally forced to go, but two, was to just study everybody else and then take notes on what everybody else is doing and then talk about it on the radio that night.
You grow as a person also. Like,
just having to navigate with people and learn to work with people.
Yeah.
You deal with any drama?
oh yes.
Yeah?
Oh my God. High school drama, man. I'm not just saying this like I always stay out of drama. No, but I genuinely do always step back. You know, I have so much stress in my life.
You don't need that.
You know, I feel like if I weren't doing this, I would be all over it. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, to get spice into my life. But I have enough spice in my life, you know?
All this free time and lack of spice.
Yeah. So I'll hear about it. I might talk about it with a close friend, but, you know, I'm not in the lunchroom like, square up, what'd you say to me? You know? But I'll watch, you know?
The visual of you attempting to fight somebody in the lunchroom
it doesn't work. It's you can't picture it.
It's like this weird, almost like fluttery dance type thing I'm picturing you do.
Yeah, I would be snapped in half. I would never dare.
It's cool that you're back, though. A lot of people would experience what you've experienced, and then they would see it as an opportunity to never go back. Honestly, and then they would leave, and then they'd be effed up in the brain.
Yeah, I mean, I have my moments. I've countless numbers of times, just like in the past month, I've been like, I am leaving this school. Like, I am dropping out. But I never do, you know? I keep coming back, so.
Do you see the rest of your career as slow and steady wins the race, or I gotta move now? I got to get a hit now. I got to put an album out now. I got to be nominated for a Grammy tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't really think about either. I don't think either of them are healthy to think about. I don't think it's really something to strategize about. I have other people to strategize all that stuff out for me. And I don't really focus on it because I don't know. I feel like that mess me up. Because then I would feel like I didn't accomplish something if I didn't get a number one hit or I didn't get a Grammy tomorrow, which is just stupid. Obviously, I'm not going to get a Grammy tomorrow. It's about a build. And I'd rather just live my life than feel like I disappointed myself.
But do you see it as a slower build? Because, dude, you're 15. Like,
Yeah.
and you're already established as a songwriter and a performer. Like, you have so much time left.
It's crazy. I have a lot of time.
It's nuts.
But I mean, at the same time, it's the world's attention span is so short.
So tiny.
You do. I think that it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, like certain things, you're like, okay, yeah, we should do that now before people forget about me. And I usually don't care about those things, but I care a little bit, you know. And of course, it's about a build. I am really young, and even the label said that the label would never give me radio pushes and still are very hesitant to give me radio pushes and stuff like that. But I completely understand, and I'm totally okay with that because I'm a kid. I'm so young, you know. I have a lot of time to, like, what is it called? Improve. I forgot the word.
But I don't think it's improve. I think you have time to consistently tell your story and build this amazing relationship. And when the record happens, it happens. Because you don't want to be early to the party, because once you're early to the party, like, it's hard to get a proper invitation next time.
Yeah.
So I think it's so on your side. And if your integrity is so pure and it's so intact and it's really unwavering and strong, dude, keep it and keep going on the path you're on, because I think you're creating timeless records. And I really do think we're going to look back at I Don't Know My Name and be like, yo, this record defined something. It changed something.
Thank you.
So you'll get hits. They'll happen. But it's really special. You're an amazing writer. I think that's one of the coolest things about you.